Hey guys, so here's a dose of my reality for you. So we get up late. Things just didn't work out, didn't sleep well last night because the mini has not been sleeping well. Well, we get up late. My husband and our eldest child, who we decided to keep home from school because we were having car troubles and didn't want to chance it breaking on the way across town, went down the road to the auto parts store to pick up the part. Get the part, get home. Can't find our impact wrench. We have a Ryobi impact driver, and somehow it got moved from the last place we both remembered it being, and we couldn't find it. Well, we finally find it, and as we're getting ready to start this process of tearing everything apart and replacing the tie rod end on the driver's side, my husband, as he's passing around the passenger side, all of a sudden starts swearing. So I walk over and he's like, look at the middle of the tire. So I go and I look, and it takes me a second. Then I realize two of our lug studs for our passenger side front tire completely gone. Sheared off all the way down. Huh. Well, that would cause the car to rattle. That would cause the car to have steering issues, cause a knocking, a vibration. Okay. So we think about it for a minute and we're like, well, let's try that first, because it's a significantly cheaper part than the one that we bought this morning. Let's try that first, see if it helps. Because then we can return the much more expensive part that we bought this morning and just, it's the cheaper route. Yay. So we go down, we get everything put back together, we go down, get the kids loaded up, end up going to the auto parts store again, same one. And we get new lug studs and new lug nuts for the two that sheared off. Well, we get home, and after probably about half an hour of putzing with it, not being able to get it in straight, not being able to get it in place, it just doesn't quite fit. My husband finally thinks to flip it around and try testing putting it through the other side. Not actually to put it in place, but to test size and actually be able to take a look at it, because you have to push it through the back, so you really can't see what you're doing. We got the wrong ones. Somehow, between the information we found on the site and giving it to the people there and them looking it up and giving us the part, we ended up with the ones for the back tire, not the front tire. And they are the head and shoulder of that stud is significantly bigger. And so it's not going in. It's not going to happen. So we already have the whole assembly completely torn apart because we had to completely remove the caliper mount, the rotor, pop out the old ones, which actually wasn't as hard as we expected. All we ended up having to do was grease it up a little bit and then take a hammer to it for a couple seconds, and it pop, and then it just popped out the back. But so we call the auto parts store, and we're like, is there any way you can deliver it to us, because we already have this completely torn apart and we really don't want to drive on a tire with two missing studs again, because it's dangerous. It's not a good idea, and I don't want Scott going by himself, and I also don't want to bring the kids. So it's kind of a but they say they agree to bring it to us. So we have to wait for them for about 20-25 minutes, which isn't bad. I mean, I'm not going to argue with parts delivery taking a little while. Like, you're bringing me the part I need without me having to put my car completely back together, drive an unsafe vehicle to you, and then drive all the way home again. So I'm not going to argue. So it's the right part this time. Fits like a charm. Pops through the hole. But doesn't want to go in straight. Doesn't want to go all the way through. Finally spend about half an hour or more fighting with that. I finally give up and go inside. I'm like, I can't deal with this stress anymore. And the kids are both inside. We had Aiden watching Owen because he was laying down and she was watching TV, so they were good hanging out together, but she had come out and told me he needed a new diaper, so I went inside and I get a call from him saying, well, I had to sacrifice one of my wrenches, but I got it. So he managed to get them to go all the way in. But he ended up breaking one of his wrenches in order to do it, because you had to be able to put enough force against the force that you were putting on it in order to get it to pull in and through. So he gets it put back together. Sorry, my cat is misbehaving on me again. So we get it put back together. And we take it for a drive. We stop for pizza because we hadn't had lunch. Everything's fine. For about a little over a week, not quite a week and a half, we'd been freaked out thinking we were driving on a broken tie rod. All it was a couple of missing lug studs. $8 worth of parts that we just didn't notice. So, long story short, the cat's not fixed, so it still gets sluggish from time to time, but it doesn't knock anymore. So I'm not going to complain too much. Going around the corner. Sorry, I had a police officer right behind me, so I didn't want to look directly at you guys. But yeah, so that's been my day.